What's going on, everyone? So Giannis Antetokounmpo is expected to potentially be back on the market. He is expected to give the Milwaukee Bucks a fair opportunity in order to try to build the team in a way that would satisfy Giannis to keep him and essentially convince him to stay around. Here's the problem. One, I don't know how they do that. They are in more purgatory than probably any team in the league. Right? They just don't have any assets. They don't have a bunch of valuable, desired players. They don't have a bunch of young guys that maybe you could trade to turn into a vet guy that changes your fate. Right? Your other star is going to miss all of next season. Your salary cap strapped. How do you solve that? How do you get out of that? I don't see a path personally. Not a big enough one. Could you maybe get a guy or two and maybe make it seem somewhat intriguing? Sure. But I don't think that they're going to be able to do enough to make this team look like a true title contender. And again, your other star is going to miss all of next season. Right? Maybe if you still had Dame and he was healthy and it's okay, we're going to have a healthy Dame to start next season. And then, you go and get a piece or two and it's okay, you're back in business. Sure. But I just don't see that happening. Right? They have a couple guys like Bobby Portis. I could see, some teams liking, can they keep a Gary Trent around? There's some things can maybe convince another guy or two to take a vet minimum or something. What significant moves are they going to be able to make though? Right? I think Giannis, if they can at least be half decent, right? I think he might stay. I just don't know what that is. Now, and it sucks too because the Eastern Conference is going to be insanely wide open. It's going to be. Right? You have, unfortunately now, Tyrese Halliburton out all of next season. Damian Lillard's out of all next season. Jason Tatum's out of all next season. So, if Milwaukee was in a better position, they could maybe go make a couple moves and the argument would be hey, look, we made these moves in a wide open Eastern Conference where, there's only going to be probably 3 or 4 teams that you have to deal with, and we could be right in the mix of those teams. Right? And you're the best player on the planet, right? That would be your argument, but now I just don't see it, right? So Rich Paul, I'm sure many of you are familiar with who Rich Paul is. For those that aren't, he's LeBron's agent and childhood friend, right? He, a couple months ago, I want to say, maybe it was a month ago, kind of talked about basically kind of keep an eye on Giannis and KD teaming up. Just so happens Houston ended up trading for Kevin Durant and didn't have to give up any real value, right? They didn't have to give up anything. So they could turn around and still go trade for Giannis and have Giannis and KD and still have enough players and assets and stuff in order to make that happen, right? And they could use Fred VanVleet's salary to go make that work, right? There's paths there, but point is I think Giannis's time with the Bucks is coming to an end if he really is considering leaving, which, look, there were reports that he's considering leaving more now than he ever has ever. So if that's true, then I think it's time for him to go. And if you're Milwaukee, why wouldn't you want that? Right? So what are you going to do? You're going to go trade whatever little assets and players of value that you have to go try to make a push to get a guy and still be a first round exit? Why? Just to say you keep Giannis? I think, and I've said this for some time now, I think if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, because Giannis isn't going to opt out or request out, or there's questions of him actually doing so, I think it's one of those things where you go to him and you go, hey, where do you want to go? All right, it's that simple. This is where we're at. We're not going to be, let's be honest here, we're not going to be able to build out this roster in a way that is going to make us true contenders with Damian Lillard likely missing all of next season. And do we really want to rush him back and then he gets hurt again and then he misses another year? And at that point, he's probably retiring, right? So if I'm the Bucks, I am going to Giannis and being like, hey, where do you want to go? We'll try our best to send you there. Obviously, we want to get the best return and package that we can, but we want to do right by you. So if it's comparable or close, right? Let's say we have a slightly better package, but they're like right there, fine, we'll take that because that's where you prefer to go. Perfect. Or do you have a list of several teams you'd be interested in? Whoever it is, whatever it is, if it's an Eastern Conference team, if it's a Western Conference team, whoever. Whatever you want to go, you tell us where you want to go. Right? And you go get a historic all-time haul for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You turn, Bobby Portis and whatever else you can into actual assets and players, and you reset this thing. Giannis alone would probably get you a package that would set you up long term. Right? Like Giannis alone would probably get you a return that would put you in position to where you don't have to worry like, oh, well, we can't bottom out or anything like that. Like you'll probably still be able to stay afloat, right? It might actually be better because you might be able to actually build out a proper team. Especially, imagine if you traded him to Houston Rockets and you go get Jabari and Cam Whitmore and Reed Shepherd and whatever else you can get, right? Maybe get a Şengün, right? Like, I look at Milwaukee's situation and it's just like, at what point, if you're Milwaukee, are you just honest? Now, look, if you go to Giannis and you tell him and he goes, that's fine, I'll still stay, I still want to stay, then you keep him, right? Like, you keep him. That you give him the opportunity because now you're not the bad guys. Now you're not the team that's holding him hostage, right? Now he made a conscious decision and hey, look, if you change your mind later, let us know and we'll do it. Right? Because now he's going to go into a full off season. And here's the problem too, is that now some of these teams either A, have to wait and see if maybe, possibly, potentially he becomes available, or B, these teams aren't going to wait. They're going to go make a bunch of moves, and half of those teams are going to be taken out of the Giannis race. And so half the teams Giannis wants to go to, or maybe even all the teams Giannis wants to go to, might already be out of the opportunity to get him because they've already made their moves and done all that stuff, right? If Houston makes another trade, now they don't have a way to go get Giannis. Well, there goes Houston, right? Maybe the Spurs still stick around, but maybe they don't. What if the Spurs end up making some moves and making some deals and making some trades, right? So these are all things that you got to kind of keep in mind with this situation. I think both sides need to come to the realization that it's over, right? It's almost like, it's like that toxic couple that, everyone sees it's over. Everyone knows it's over, but they're doing everything they can to hold on to each other. But even they know it's over. They just don't want to, they're too prideful to admit it, right? Like, or they're just, they do love each other. They just don't want to admit it. Like, that's what this feels like to me. You have two sides that absolutely know. That's it. It was a great run, right? We had, an incredible run. Won a championship, right? Like, dude, no one would blame Giannis for asking out. No, Milwaukee Bucks fans wouldn't blame Giannis for asking out. Milwaukee Bucks fans would be like, it's about time, guy. Like, we'll support you where you go. Like, the guy's done everything he could to be loyal to a fault, right? Like, last thing you want is a Damian Lillard situation, where it's like you should have gotten out a long time ago. Granted, again, Giannis won a championship, Dame didn't, but still, it's like, dude, you should have gotten out a long time ago, but you didn't want to be the bad guy. Right? And it ended up basically, potentially, I never know, but more likely than not means he's never going to win a championship, right? Damian Lillard. Right? If he does, it's probably in like a bench role as like a sixth man, right? Kind of go the Derrick Rose route at this point, where you don't want to see that for Giannis. You want to see Giannis go win another championship or two, or at least give yourself a real chance, give yourself a real shot, right? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, right? You never know. They both could just stay in the relationship, even though it's meant to be done, or again, maybe he takes too long, and I don't know. I don't see the path that fixes the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't believe that there is one that truly does. That, you look at it and you go, okay, yeah, this team is a contender now. I just don't buy it. But Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.